On the Diaspora this week.
We dispute that figure, 30,000. That is not the case. There aren't 30,000 Nigerians, asylum seekers.
Nigerian ambassador to Germany speaks on the plans to deport 30,000 Nigerians from Germany. House of Representatives fumes over persistent attacks on Nigerians in South Africa, calls for stiffer response against xenophobia.
I love the people we are serving, whether in Nigeria or abroad. They are our people.
It's good to have you join us on the Diaspora for this week, where we bring you again highlights of Nigerians living and working abroad. We tell you about their well-being and welfare, everything that has to do with Nigerians in the diaspora. It is all here on this program. Welcome, my name is Makut Simon Machan. Now this week we intend to continue from where we brought you the story of Nigerians living in Germany illegally. According to the report we brought you last week, the German advisor on security was here in Nigeria to meet with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama, on the plans to repatriate over 30,000 Nigerians said to be living in Germany illegally. Today we bring you a flip side of that story as we hear from Nigerian ambassador to Germany, Yusuf Maitama Tuga, who says those numbers are very speculative, and so Nigeria is challenging these figures. Here is the interview with the ambassador.
We dispute that figure, 30,000. That is not the case. There aren't 30,000 Nigerians, asylum seekers. Like I said, I've participated in interviews. These are joint interviews between Nigeria, as represented by the Nigerian embassy, and the German authorities, including the German Federal Police. And you will find that in a lot of the interviews, you have non-Nigerians, and they themselves admit to not being Nigerians after they talk to us, some of them. You will find that a lot of those that we do not issue emergency travel certificates are people that are either have medical conditions and that make them unfit to travel, or they have family ties, they've gotten married, maybe even have children with German citizens, or you find that they are undergoing some sort of educational course or vocational training. Now, all these three things that I've mentioned to you, if you were to issue an emergency travel certificate to such an individual and have him deported from Germany, you'll be contravening German laws, not our own laws even, to begin with, their own laws, because they have certain laws that preclude the deportation or expulsion of individuals that are going and undergoing treatment, or if you have a particular ailment and it is established that if you are deported to a particular country, you will not be able to get the same sort of treatment that you are receiving over there. And then above that, you've got the European Union's conventions on human rights. I'm not denying that you have irregular migrants, that make it there, but even they, you will find that some of them make it there and they look around and they see that they don't want to be there. We have a lot of walk-ins in the embassy. People coming in and saying, look, I'm tired, please, I want to go home, help me out. Issue me an emergency travel certificate. And we do immediately, and they go back, But we have to be careful there as well, because there's a tendency to just think that, and there's some numbers that are being bandied about, that X number of Nigerians in Germany and they're illegal, and you will find that a lot of the people that are being purported to be Nigerians are not even Nigerians. One of the most prominent artists that they have, not just in Germany, in the world, Emeka, he is a Nigerian, born and bred in Nigeria, and moved there, but you will not be hearing about them. Not to talk about lawyers, doctors, engineers, some lecturing in some of the prominent universities. We have a Nigerian lecturer, of repute, for instance, in von Humboldt University. So these are the sort of Nigerians that we need to hear more about. But instead, reportage always tends to favor Nigerians that are migrating, irregular migrants and all of that, and their plight. But you don't get to hear about the success stories.
Well, we shall see how that ends as we continue to monitor developments on this program. Now let's take you to the issue of xenophobic attacks on Nigerians. The House of Representatives is very furious on the continued killing of Nigerians in South Africa. This is what they had to say on the matter on the floor of the House of Representatives.
According to News Agency of Nigeria, as at February 2018, no fewer than 116 Nigerians have been killed in cold blood in South Africa. That's 2 years ago. And in January 2018, a violent group in Rustenburg, northwest South Africa, issued a quit or be killed notice to Nigerians, especially in that part of the country. Consistent to this quit or be killed notice, Mr. Ebuka Clement was set ablaze on 21st April 2018, sir, in Rustenburg, northwest South Africa. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, other incidences of molestation of Nigerians in South Africa include, number one, the kidnap and killing of Mr. Desmond for want of ransom. Number two, the burning of 8 cars belonging to Nigerians. 3, arbitrary ransacking of houses. 4, looting of Nigerian-owned businesses. And 5, another more, threats to life on daily basis. These ugly incidences prompted 14 Nigerians to protest against lack of protection from South African police. And some of the protesters were arrested and detained since 21st January 2018.
When I was in secondary school, we went to school with orphans from South Africa whose parents were killed during the apartheid era. And I remember how we helped them with our little provisions that we had. We gave them little pocket money, and we tried as much as possible to be their brothers and make them feel at home. And we felt so sorry for them during that time. So it's unfortunate that these same South Africans are now killing Nigerians for the mere reason that they are Nigerians. I mean, I can't really fathom this. I don't know what went wrong. And I think this is not far, this cannot be far from the fact that the kind of lives that our brothers are living there in South Africa should be really looked at. I know there is no reason for anybody to kill anybody on the street, no matter what. Justice should prevail. But we should look inwards and see what are those things that are making Nigerians to be so hated by South Africans. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but we should look at that and try to remedy our own side of the story. And as far as Nigerian government is concerned, we should try as much as possible to get to the root of this matter. Make sure at least this person who went in search of his, in demanding for his rent, at least we know who killed him or where he was killed or why he was killed. So that is a starting point. It is different from those that were just mobbed on the street because you don't know who to hold responsible. But now, at least, even if we get justice for one, we might have succeeded in doing something. And that could now further open more doors for redress for other people that have lost their lives.
Nigeria was named one of the frontline states. That was not because of the location, that was not because of the geography of identification of people who are collectively living in that area. It was based on the activism of Nigeria with regard to liberation struggles in South Africa. It is sad that 20 years or so after, the way to pay us back is to kill Nigerians on the streets of South Africa. That level of xenophobia or crime should not be tolerated in a civilized society. I know, either by law, convention, or the spirit of African brotherhood, no Nigerian should be experiencing that. It offends the law to kill people, and it offends the law to kill Nigerians, whether it's in South Africa or in Nigeria. I know the conduct of diplomacy could be done by reciprocity. Mr. Speaker, the way we reciprocate the killing of Nigerians in South Africa is to give them the opportunity and freedom to operate their businesses in Nigeria. We don't expect anything less. I do not see any record of Nigerians or South Africans getting the headlines of being killed in Nigeria. That is the way Nigeria has conducted its affairs. We've been our brothers' keepers. We've been our brothers' neighbors. We don't kill people. We have our troubles, but we show that spirit of brotherhood.
Just 2 days ago, Kate Maduforo was locked in the house with the child because the husband was threatened to be killed. The man ran away in Joburg and left the wife and children. This is 2 days now. They were locked in the house so that they won't come out. I just got the information yesterday, and we are looking for how to rescue the mother and child. Mr. Speaker, we have Nigerian embassy in South Africa. We were calling for autopsy of the ones that were killed, the ones they tied nylon on their faces. Have the government of South Africa delivered to Nigerian government any autopsy of these killings, these rascal and judicial killings? A lot of reports we have asked for, have anyone been tendered to Nigeria? And I'm saying today, my sister just enumerated few Nigerians that the killing of Nigeria in South Africa on a daily basis is a sequence. This is no longer, you can only count today. You don't know the ones that are being killed as we are talking now. Nigerians have become endangered species because of the failure of the institution that will protect them. Failure of the institution, I am saying, if the first approach did not take precedence or it did not work, why not the government take over instead of running to judge into conclusion that they should live by the laws of the land? Let us look at the situation, sir. If even they offended, was it the right to kill them without knowing whether it's true or false? The right to life can only be taken on lawful execution of a judgment of the court.
I think that from my engagement, we found out that the South Africans, the people in South Africa, refused to mention the word xenophobia. And the government, both from the parliamentary end as well as from the executive end, have constantly engaged with the people of South Africa. At the time, we suggested that we take it to the United Nations, that we take our petition to the United Nations about invoking the anti-hate laws and the xenophobic laws at the time, at the African Union as well as the United Nations. Mr. Speaker, my concern is that we're going to continue to have these conversations. How much powers beyond suasion, moral suasion, beyond engagement, what can the government of Nigeria actually do? And I'm speaking from a practical viewpoint. I'm saying that beyond constant engagement, beyond bringing it up at the Nigerian-South African Binational Commission, beyond raising it at the AU about the violence in South Africa, what really can we do as a country? And
if we say that we have relationship with another country and they are killing our people anyhow, what kind of relationship? Why can't we close down our embassy there, Mr. Speaker? I'm sorry. I love the people we are serving, whether in Nigeria or abroad. They are our people. Mr. Speaker, something has to be done. We are doing ours. Posterity will judge us. It is important our government they should come out to do something about this.
Next is our Diasporan of the Week, and we have a Nigerian who is doing tremendously well in Benin Republic, and of course is contributing to the development of that country and indeed his motherland, Nigeria. Meet Eze Ebuka Onunko.
Eze Ebuka Onunko was born in Anambra State, southeast Nigeria. Coming from a humble background, Ebuka departed for Cotonou in Benin Republic in search of greener pastures shortly after secondary education.
That has been a while ago, since 24 years ago. I started my business life in Benin Republic. In search of greener pasture, I found myself there, and I found it very comfortable for me to do business and all the rest.
In Benin Republic, he got his hands dirty, starting from a small beginning, doing business which grew steadily.
I have my business in Republic of Benin, and having been there for a good number of years, I've been paying my taxes and helping people. I have an organization that, a sort of foundation that helps the needy. The employment I created there, the host country, the people of Republic of Benin, Togo, Nigerians, they are benefiting from the employment, the job I've created there. So I think, Benin Republic is a country that has a lot to do with taxation, because they don't have much of mineral resources like Nigeria that have petrol. So we do pay our taxes, and that is what is keeping us till today. If not, they will show you a way out.
The true Nigerian spirit of enterprise and frugality propelled his company to an international brand, employing hundreds of Nigerians and foreigners. While success came his way, Eze Ebuka Onunko did not close his eyes to the poor and needy as he engaged in philanthropic activities in Benin Republic. He has not forgotten his root and background, as he also gives scholarship back home in Nigeria to many indigent students, as well as job opportunities to thousands.
Some people some people have passion for helping people, intervening when somebody is truly in need, the indigent ones. And I think it is part of my passion, doing that to people. It gives me joy, because when I remember my history, where I was coming from, I deem it fit to, help in contributing to the masses, to the community. For example, today, I can say it's about 10 years now, or 9 years, since I have been paying the school fees for the secondary school in my town. I gave them scholarships since 2009. Both their WAEC and NECO fees, school fees, everything. I've been doing that till date. And other incentives that we help in encouraging the students to learn. Because I know education is power. I don't want in my town to have any person that will say he didn't attend secondary school because of school fees. So I take it upon myself to ensure that everybody from that town at least have that minimum basic education of secondary school. So it gives me joy, and I keep on doing it. And with that, God is still providing.
At the age of 33 in 2003, Ebuka was found worthy to be crowned Ezendibo Kotonu, the Igbo leader.
And as a result, I am a member of Traditional Ruling Council of Republic of Benin, which is first of its kind. The first time a stranger was made a member of that, the decision-making body of the traditional rulers. And with that status, it helps me in making peace between my Nigerian brothers and sisters and the Beninese. Instead of going much to the police for one misunderstanding or the other, in our circle of traditional rulers, we can invite them and make sure that there is peace and harmony. We have been doing that for years. You know, I've been in Benin to the extent that even the citizens of Benin, yes, they might have some problem and need to come to me to help them in solving it in the Republic of Benin. Mm. Even though, yes, I mean the citizens of that country. So when you are a person of integrity, you can make waves anywhere you are, no matter if you are in a foreign country or in a host country, or in your real country. My advice is that everybody, all hands must be on deck in making Nigeria great. This industrialization of Nigeria should not be a one-man business. If you allow government to create employment for all the teeming youth, unemployed youth in Nigeria, it can be possible. Let all of us come back home, help in creating employment so that we will clear the street of those jobless graduates. You know, many are afraid of coming because of maybe issue of power, electricity, which is one of the cankerworm that is setting backwards the companies or industries in Nigeria. But in my own thought, I say if some other people are in Nigeria making it, let me come and join hands. If they are losing, let us lose. If we are gaining, let us gain. But as I can assure you, there is no way we are going to lose.
For his industry, philanthropy and good representation of the Nigerian brand in Benin Republic, Eze Ebuka Onunkwo is our Diasporan of the week.
Quite an inspiration there and a great example for other Nigerians in the diaspora to follow. Congratulations to you, Eze Ebuka Onunkwo, for doing Nigeria and Nigerians proud in Benin Republic. Now let's take you to news about Nigerians in the diaspora on our Diaspora News segment.
The Nigerian community in the United States has protested against the racial bias incident against a Nigerian, Lolade Sionbola, a graduate student at Yale University. The Organization for the Advancement of Nigerians, in a letter to the president of Yale University, demanded strong actions over the incident. Ms. Sionbola had posted 2 videos of the incident on Facebook. More Nigerian underage girls trafficked to the Middle East are said to be ending up in Egypt as chagalas, the degrading term for domestic workers. An investigation by a Nigerian online newspaper says the trafficked girls are being offered for sale as domestic servants in the underground market to wealthy Arabs. The Director General of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Julie Oka-Donley, confirmed that the agency was aware of the situation in Egypt and is working with Egyptian officials and travel agencies to stop the smugglers. And on a sad note, Nollywood actress Aisha Bimbola, popularly known as Omoge Campos, has been buried in Canada according to Islamic rites. Aged 42, Omoge Campos is reported to have died of breast cancer.
Now, Diaspora News brings us to the end of this week's package. Thank you for sharing your time with us. We hope you join us next time for another edition. On behalf of the rest of the team, I am Makut Simon Macham. Thank you and saying bye for now.